Yo, yo, yo. La la la. Okay, there it is. I think my voice is there. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. What's going on? Yo, happy Thursday, man. Happy Thursday. Weekend's coming, baby. The weekend is coming. Keep grinding. Keep grinding. I don't know. We'll do more Hogwarts Legacy. You know, we'll deal with more cool content and more cool, super cool frame drops. You know what I mean? It's a real weird situation playing this game. You know, it's really the same way I felt about Elden Ring on PC. There's some really cool content in the game, and it hurts to play through it and to constantly be like slapped in the face with the glaring issues of the game whenever it does feel like they were so close to really making something super special. I feel. I think that people on console are having a much better experience. I think if I had played it on console, it probably would have been I would have had a much better experience of the game too. But I'm glad I played it on PC. I want to play it on the worst version possible. That's where I want to play a game. I want to see the worst that they have to show. And that's why I'm glad I played it on PC. But we'll keep pushing on it, man. We'll keep pushing on it today, and you know, we'll enjoy what we can out of it. You know what I mean? It's good to see you guys, and let's get ready to hop into this video gaming news segment for today, February 16th, before we dive into day 8 of Hogwarts Legacy. Cool. First, this is what we're listening to this morning. Crypt of the Necrodancer, yeah. Rhythm-based adventure RPG, cool game, and awesome, amazing, extensive soundtrack. I know for a fact if you get the soundtrack on Steam, you get a whole bunch of content. The soundtrack for the game initially, just even the original OST is very long. We're talking like 43 songs, something like that. And then there's a whole bunch of other like remixes and stuff that come along with it. So if you're liking the music, check it out. Cool. We'll go ahead and cut that. Cut the tunes. Let's go ahead, get in here and see what we got for the news this morning. Cool. Let's go. Ubisoft's X Defiant is still in the works, apparently. First playtest will be this week. See what we got. I'm not really that familiar with this. Developer Ghost Ship expands into publishing as well. Is that what that's saying? Yeah, okay. Looks like Xbox is looking to build in India. Most gaming companies are looking to build in most parts of the world they are able to. Gaming is everywhere. Let's, be very clear here. So that's not all that surprising. Oh no, dude. Well, look, I'm not going to dive into this, but I've been telling everybody for quite a while now about Square Enix and how they are adamant and are being very open with the community about how they are diving into the Web3 blockchain NFT space, and they just keep doing it, man. I think it's really going to hurt them. I really do. We've actually taken a look at these before. Logitech's G-Fits True Wireless Gaming Earbuds. I'm not going to dive into these specifically, but I will say that I think there's something to be said. These will always be my first go to. I like wired headsets, and I like a nice headset to wear. Um, I usually go for a headset that is both has the capability to be wired and wireless, which is what these are. These are a pair of Sony. What are these like? Dude, I can't remember the exact model these are off the top of my head. Is it even showing here? I don't think so. It's a pair of Sony's, man. I really like these, but I deal with headaches from time to time, and it's not always good for me to be rocking my headset. Even though these are pretty comfortable and they're not really tight fitting, it still kind of can make my headaches worse whenever I'm dealing with headaches. So to have a nice set of earbuds to wear whenever I'm gaming is something I actually need to probably be looking into at some point. And with earbuds, I would rather rock a pair of wireless ones than have them be wired. So I think there's something to be said for a really nice set of wireless earbuds. The thing for me is there needs to be like virtually no latency, man, in the audio coming from my gaming device into the earbuds whenever. And part of that has to do with the hardware that is within the gaming device. And the other part is the hardware wirelessly that is being utilized in the earbuds themselves. But I do think it's good that technology is evolving in a way where some of this wireless technology is becoming more applicable for a lot less to minimal latency for things of this nature. Game Freak wants to explore non-Pokemon games. That's not surprising given their latest releases. Yeah. Returnal is Sony's most impressive PC port yet. Yo, I'm really interested in playing this game. Returnal's supposed to be very good. I'm always worried about PC ports, games, especially. Look, I think it's very clear that more often than not, games are playing better on console than they do on PC when they come across all. If there is a version that doesn't play as good, usually it's a version on PC that doesn't play as good, in my experience. Um, but I will say that like I have been surprised at times, uh, and Sony Santa Monica surprised me greatly with their 2018 God of War port to PC in um, 2018's God of War. When did it get ported? 2021, I think. We played it on release, and it was phenomenal. They did a great job porting that game to PC. It was very well optimized. And I'm really hoping that Returnal's the same way. Because Returnal seems like a game that I would really, really like to play. Legendary PS1 RPG finally returning on PlayStation Plus. Let's take a look. Excuse me. Oh, I think we kind of hit on this yesterday. Let's be sure here. We hit, yeah, we've hit on most of this. We had hit on a lot of the games that were already here and some of the others that are coming. Yeah, yesterday we hit on the fact that there's like uh, Horizon Forbidden West, Quarry, RE7, Borderlands 3, all that stuff coming as well. But this is a list of maybe some we haven't talked about yet either, so we'll hit on that. Excuse me. Hogwarts Legacy works better as a TV show than a video game. I'll do you one better. Hogwarts Legacy works better as a multiplayer game than a single player campaign. Don't touch it. Hmm. Talked about this yesterday. Um, I did not get yesterday's news segment. It was highlighted yesterday in on Twitch. It is a highlight on Twitch. It was last night, but it was not up public on YouTube until this morning. So, but we did go over this, and there are some significant concerns about Saudi Arabia buying heavily into the gaming industry. Saudi Arabia is a country known for a lot of human rights violations, a lot of persecution, things like that. And basically, their heavy investment into partially owning and fully owning development companies is going to allow them to potentially push these discriminatory practices and views into video games. So that's why TLDR, there's a lot of issues in regards to Saudi Arabia buying heavily into gaming. And that's where we need to be very, very aware of what might be happening with Saudi Arabia buying into video games. So if you want a more deep discussion and view of this article specifically, this is one of the ones we pulled up yesterday, then look at yesterday's news segment. It is a highlight on the Twitch channel here, and it's also a VOD on the YouTube channel, okay? Wait, what was that? Okay, here we go. CDPR is going to explain to us how The Witcher 3 not safe for work mod snuck into their game. Let's hear it, CDPR. Oh, Multiverse's peak player count plummets to below 1,000 amid content drought. Oh, yikes. This is what I was worried about for this game. That's rough. Multiverses at its peak was like at Evo, man. Evo, this past Evo tournament, Multiverses really stepped in and took the place of Smash. Smash was not allowed to be played at the this past Evo tournament because Nintendo thought it was going to be a slap in the face to Sony. Because Sony, this is the first year that Sony has owned Evo. And Smash has been played at Evo forever. Or for a long time anyways. Really, it was just a slap in the face to the player base of Smash Brothers from Nintendo. And it made Nintendo look really bad, in my opinion. But Multiverses came out at the right time. Ferret, what's up, my friend? How are you, dude? Multiverses came out at the right time, dude. It released. It was like early access at the time, but dude, they had it at Evo, and people were loving it. It needed balance changes and stuff, but they ran it, dude. They ran it at Evo. Very stormy morning. Maybe just call in and hang out with me, bro. It was really stormy for us yesterday. There was like, you could hear the wind outside. You know what I mean? It was pretty wild. Bro, hang out with me, dog. I mean, you normally do anyways, but you can just hang out with me without having to lurk. You know what I'm saying? You can just relax today, dude. Me and you, baby. Me and you. I'll call in too, dude. We'll just hang out and we'll just play games all day, dog. So, the thing I was worried about was the potential for Multiverses to continue to maintain a player base. And now what we're seeing is that I haven't heard much about it. Really, like, the most I had seen was, like, after Evo, there had been some, like, character announcements and stuff. Like, there was Spike and Gizmo. There was going to be some Lord of the Rings stuff, but then Embracer bought the rights to the Lord of the Rings stuff, and WB had to, like, pull out of that. They couldn't put any Lord of the Rings characters in. And there was a couple of other characters I think that got announced. And other than that, man, there wasn't a whole lot. It kind of like slowed down the announcements for the game. And I was like, man, I wonder what the player base is doing. Apparently it's really bad right now. So we'll take a look at this. Which feels bad because apparently this is like another one of those games where I heard really great things. I heard there are a lot of people that are really enjoying this game. But this is potentially another instance here of games that people enjoy but that are dying because there's just not enough to keep people playing the game. There's not enough to keep bringing people back, man. We've seen a lot of this here lately. I just can't understand. Like $250 to $300 for a controller, man, that is not all that much different than the original. I don't understand, dude. Wild Hearts Day 1 update patch notes revealed. I wonder how Wild Hearts is doing. Let's take a look real quick. By the way, IGN FanFest is coming up too. I need to look at this. Yo, shut your mouth. Is the console built into the controller, right? That's what I'm saying, Doug. Yeah, yeah. That thing should like transform. You know what I'm saying? It should transform. A flipping 27-inch LCD should pop out of it. You know, it should have like a console inside of it. Better yet, just like a holographic screen. It shouldn't even have like a traditional like 27-inch LCD monitor. Just a holographic screen pops up. You know what I mean? Yeah, we need to. Before I forget, let me throw this in here. Let's look up IGN FanFest real quick. Make sure we're gonna hit on that. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Brother. We got to start getting to work on these ideas we have. You know what I'm saying? We got to start getting to work. The other thing I was going to look at is bro, am I tripping? Is this not on Steam? Is this only like on Epic or something? Oh yeah, I know, dude. I know for sure. What just happened? Yeah, geez, dude, my Steam just like took a big fat brain fart, dude. Oh, it's actually releasing today, so that's why there aren't any reviews yet. I thought it was yesterday. Okay, yeah. All right, well we'll read the. Let's look at this real quick too, though. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. This came out yesterday. 80% right now. Okay. I'm really interested in playing Returnal. If the PC port's good, we might end up playing this. Yo, gamer. What up, dog? What's going on, man? It said, "What up, kids?" How are you, dude? What is this? Oh, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge trailer shows PSVR 2's visual upgrades. Okay, I'm still just like blown away that they didn't do any kind of backwards compatibility for that headset. You know, to play PSVR original PlayStation VR games. I just that's beyond me, dude. I don't know. Oh, for real? Oh, nice, dude. Okay. Yo, let me know what you think of it, man. Yeah. Oh, dude, the Ender Lilies devs. Dude, Ender Lilies is a game that I really want to play. Tactics JRPG Redemption Reapers? Have you guys heard of this? Final trailer before release. Okay, cool. Let's check that out. Let's stick with this. We'll stick with these. Whatever, man. Um, Tactics JRPG Redemption Reapers by Ender Lilies devs gets final trailer before release. Binary Haze Interactive and Ad Globe released a new trailer of the upcoming Tactics JRPG Redemption Reapers. Oh, wow, cool gamer. Yeah, nice, dude. Yeah. You mean like the you talking about the no backwards compatibility stuff that I was talking about, Ferret? Yeah. Yeah, look, man. I understand there's probably a little bit of time and money and resources that would need to go into the backwards compatibility part. There's probably, you know, but look, dude, we all know Sony does not want, yeah, for real gamer, yeah, does not want to make that stuff work for people. Sony's just as bad as Nintendo is. You know what I'm saying? Um, we know that like Sony PlayStation, they literally have the backwards compatibility. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm not saying that it's always going to be easy, but for something as like niche as trying to get people to buy into a VR headset specifically for like your console, it just seems like the right move, man, to like, because probably the people that are going to want to buy into the new version are people that also, at least a percentage, right? Are people, yo, Mamzel, what's up? People that bought into the previous version too, right? So giving them the ability to be able to play those games on the games they already own for the old version on the new version too is just nice, dude. But we know that these companies aren't nice like that, right? Um, and we know that like PlayStation, dude, they outside PlayStation 3 aside, because they still need to work on that stuff. All the other consoles, dude, they it's the capabilities there. They just don't implement it most of the time. They don't want to give people that capability. You know what I mean? So it's like, is it a matter of them not having the capability to do it, or them just wanting to make more money? You know what I mean? And not wanting to be nice to consumers. I've got to say, when it comes to Nintendo and it comes to PlayStation, I'm always going to assume it's a ploy for more money. Because that's the way it's always come off from these two companies, you know? So that's just what I'm always going to assume. And so until they start doing something to change my mind, well, right, yeah, fair. Well, look, I mean, Xbox is changing my mind. Xbox is at least being better about backwards compatibility and stuff, and so Xbox is changing my mind. I understand that like, here's the thing that gets me. This is the thing that gets me. The same thing that we talk about quite often with companies and the way they treat their employees. The same thing it goes for your customers, right? Treating your customers well means repeat customers, and you know, I understand that a business is a business; they need to make money and stuff. But there's a difference between being greedy assholes and actually taking care of your consumer. And yeah, I know, Ferret. I know. And quite often the same way employees get treated like trash, customers get treated like trash, right? So I'm not expecting it necessarily, but that's the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes, it's the way it should be. So that's why I always try to raise awareness about it, right? I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. Mamzel, thanks. Yeah. Um, I actually finally slept through the night last night for the first time. What's funny is I took a nap yesterday evening, like, or afternoon slash evening. I took a nap, and dude, shut up. I took a nap, and I'm getting like notification pop-ups. I thought I had them all turned off, but apparently not. I'm still a little bit congested and stuff, but I took a nap, and dude, I was just coughing the entire time I took this nap. And then I was just expecting to go to sleep last night and be dealing with coughing again, and I actually slept all the way through the night, man. Slept all the way through the night. Yeah, same here, Mamzo. Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I have kind of been out of the console stuff. I mean, I maintain knowledge on the console side of gaming and everything because that's just who I am, right? I'm just by nature being somebody that's interested in gaming all the way around. I maintain a lot of knowledge about it and stuff, but I just haven't found the need to buy consoles since basically like after PlayStation 3. And it just didn't seem worth to me anymore. But I was always a PlayStation advocate, dude. I always thought PlayStation was the better console, especially between like something like PlayStation and Xbox. And over the last couple of years, Xbox has really been changing my mind about a lot of their business practices, the way they treat consumers, the way their views are on the things that they do business wise and stuff like that. I think. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've got a ton of old consoles, and I've got my Switch. It's hard for me to really compare like Nintendo to PlayStation. They're just such a different thing. Nintendo is. They're the same thing. They're still a console player, and quite often there are a lot of areas in which they are the same, and then there's a lot of areas in which they're a whole different entity than like what PlayStation and Xbox are. So it really depends on like the conversation. But like with the backwards compatibility stuff, Nintendo's the worst. Nintendo's absolutely the worst. You know what, man? My kids are actually pretty cool about stuff. They're pretty cool about stuff. Yeah. We might be playing Metroid Prime Remastered here before long, too. The thing is, dude, my kids don't get to game during the week anyways. They don't get to play games Monday through Thursday. Friday after school through Sunday night, they get to game, but Monday through Thursday, they their job and their focus is school. They don't game Monday through Thursday. Yeah. So Monday through Thursday, it's a non-factor. And then after I'm done streaming, they get it. So it's not a big deal. Yeah. 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 It wasn't always like that. The reason we have one of our kids we found was too sidetracked by trying to get to screen time. You know what I mean? And it was taking too much focus away from paying attention to schoolwork. So they were just rushing through school, trying to go, I'm done, and then go play games and stuff. And so it was like, there's no more. It doesn't matter. Even if you're done with school, you don't get to play games. You don't get to watch TV. There's no more of it. You know what I mean? Your job is school. You do school right, and you get to play games on the weekend. You don't do school right, you won't even get to play games on the weekend. It was a matter of making sure the kids understand that's their responsibility right now. That's their job, and they got to take care of it and do things right. And if so, they get rewarded, and if not, then they get things taken away. You know what I mean? So that's what we had to do, though. Yeah, Nintendo is the worst. They're absolutely the worst, no doubt about it. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I mean, PlayStation's done it a little bit too. Like, if you want to get down to it, you know what I mean. Like, PlayStation's got like the first models of PS3 can do some PS2 and PS1 backwards compatibility. The PS5 can do PS4 games. You know what I mean? But in the grand scheme of things, is that enough? Whenever the PS5 can actually, they have all the technology there outside of PS3. They could literally, as they were releasing PS5, you know what I mean? As they were releasing the PS5, they could have made the PS5 backwards compatible with PS4, PS2, and PS1. They just didn't do it. And a big part of it's because, yo, Peter, what's up, my friend? They want people repurchasing games. They want people digital. You know what I mean? Oh, yo, Ferret, me too, dog. Me too. Absolutely. They want people buying into the subscription service, right? Because subscription service is starting to get old school games on it. Hey, it's a ploy, man. It's a ploy to not give people access to the games they already own physical copies of, which is trash, dude. And that's where I think that, you know, Xbox is really making strides in the right direction with the patent that they've got out, that they're trying to like get technology built up to where, yo, if you own an old game, you can basically scan it into Xbox's servers. The servers will scan the game and go, yep, that's a legit copy of our game. You own it for this amount of time. Here's your digital copy of it. You can play it on any Xbox device or whatever. And for this amount of time. Once that amount of time's up, you got to scan the game again. But that's all it is. You know what I mean? And that's the way it should be. There's so many of us gamers that have old school games that we've held on to. Obviously, it's maybe harder to scan things like cartridges and things like that. But look, you can do it. You just have to have the right kind of technology to get it done. You know what I mean? And Xbox is making strides, man. Whereas these other companies are more about, yo, let's don't give people the access they need to play their old titles. Let's try to get them to buy the titles over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And that's trash. If you've bought it once, you should own it and you should be able to play it forever. Doesn't matter. And that's what we were talking about yesterday about like the difference between PC and consoles. That's where PC has always had the advantage. PC has always been better, right? Yeah, Ferret. PC will always be better because you don't have to get a new version of PC outside of hardware requirements. You know what I mean? You're not getting PC version 1, PC version 2, PC version 3 like Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. Like, you know, it's not PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't work like that. So you're not having to go get Final Fantasy 7, you know, 4 different times to play it on different consoles, or you know, Zelda games 5 different times on, you know, different consoles. If you own it, you own it on PC. And that's where PC has always been better in regards to that stuff. And that's the way it should be on consoles too. But they found a way to try to suck more money out of people. And again, I think that's where Xbox is at least making strides in being better to the consumer, you know? Not that Nintendo hasn't done some minimal things and PlayStation hasn't done some minimal things, but they're really nothing in the grand scheme of what they should have been doing for the consumer, right? And for the fan base. This time around, the trailer shows the story of a gameplay. Okay, so let's get back into this. Sorry. We get into these conversations all the time, dog. Tactics JRPG Redemption Reapers by Ender Lilies devs. If you don't know what Ender Lilies is a Metroidvania that I've been wanting to play for a while. I heard it's very, very good. But Ender Lilies devs gets final trailer for their JRPG Redemption Reapers before release. Binary Haze Interactive and Ad Globe released a new trailer of the upcoming Tactics JRPG Redemption Reapers. This time around, the trailer shows the story and gameplay rather evenly. We get to meet some of the characters that we'll encounter and play, including the beautiful warrior Sarah, the stern swordsman Glenn, who serves as the leader of the Ashen Hawk Brigade of mercenaries, and the young Naki, who is taken under the protection of the brigade after losing his hometown and family to the invasion of the Mort. Even the gameplay part showcases the connection with the story, and the narration also featured in the banter among characters during battles. On top of that, we hear the lovely theme song. Check out the trailer below. Let's check this out. Let's see what this is. I've never seen anything about this yet. Redemption Reapers. I don't think I have anyways. Oh, for real, gamer? Yeah.
Why do you look suffering?
Hey, you all right?
You fight them, right? The Mort, I mean. Aren't you scared?
Show me gameplay.
The Mort. They killed everyone. Thanks, Sarah. It's just... I never thanked you.
Yeah.
for saving
Dude,
me.
Mamselle, I was thinking the same exact thing. Yeah, it does have some Final Fantasy vibes. I mean, it's that JRPG thing a little bit, you know.
Just keep coming.
Okay, here we go.
Another thing to worry about.
Ooh.
No rest for the weary.
Crush them underfoot. No stopping now.
Okay.
surrounded as well.
Just a little more. I'm not afraid.
I got arrows enough for everybody.
Kill the damn thing already. Gods, what a monster.
Thing gives me the creeps.
Say we magically went back in time. What could we change? Your rule. I won't.
Yeah, it's tactics game, yeah.
Don't just come out and say stuff like that. You're gonna make
Boo!
Excuse me? Do you think you could teach me to fight?
Mods! Somebody take care of this
I wanna do my
Mamselle
part.
person for me, please.
And also, I hate being afraid of the
What, because they're not running around with a key sword or whatever? You know what I mean?
Have you ever?
Get Mamselle out of here!
No, but I've gotten muscle from working
I'm
with
just kidding. I respect it. I love tactics games. Dude, Final Fantasy Tactics, original Final Fantasy Tactics, God, I love that game.
Are you sure, Glenn?
He wants to grow stronger, to be better than he is today. I am no stranger to such desire.
Hang in there, Naki. I'm here.
Just a second, I'll show you, gamer. Hold on.
You okay, Sarah?
Just stay close, all right?
Mods are all sleeping, I know. Rick, wake up, man. What the crap?
Stay close to me, Naki. Right.
Aren't you scared?
Dude, he's got a Vincent thing. Did that guy not kind of remind you of Vincent a little bit? It's probably the face mask, you know what I mean?
Why are you doing this for us?
Ready to go, Nagi?
Thanks. But I'm fine.
Vincent from Final Fantasy
You
VII,
alright,
dude.
Monkey?
I loved Vincent.
Maybe rest a little more?
The vampire vibes, you know what I'm saying?
You could easily get away.
Oh, for
so
real?
why don't you?
Which hand?
There was another tactics game I loved on Super Nintendo called Ogre Tactics. I'll show you in just a second what that game was.
Very good.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not familiar with it, Mamzo.
I heard people at the fort. They were talking about you.
Divinity's not as much a tactics like game as it is like more
But I know the Hawks aren't
just
You're
CRPG,
definitely
right?
not Reapers. You're always fighting and getting hurt to protect others. Who cares about the
Like-
past? Right now, you're fighting for all of us.
Oh, do you really, gamer?
Like, you
Sick,
didn't
dude.
Just see that.
So Tactics Ogre and Ogre Tactics, I think, are two different things, though.
I'll be waiting for you in Looted.
I know you will.
Is it? Oh, okay, I'll have to check it out, Manzo. Let me look, gamer. Yeah, they might be related, but hold on. Okay, here we go. So, that is Redemption Reapers. This is the name of that title, okay? Redemption Reapers. And again, this is by the devs of Ender Lilies. Yeah, I'll look it up. We'll look up a few of these real quick, and we'll take a look at these. Let me see if this is on Steam real quick. Yeah, right there. This is February 22nd. This is supposed to be coming out. What? Weird. Here, I'll link this if you guys want to. The link to this on Steam. This is it right here. But it is coming to like PS4, Switch. I think they said it could be a really cool Switch game actually because it's going to be tactics and stuff. You know. Let me see. Let's look up some of these real quick. So that looks pretty neat. What all have we been talking about here? Let me show you Ogre Tactics real quick. Yeah, or Ogre Battle. Ogre Battle is what I was thinking. Ogre Battle was what I was thinking on SNES. This was my jam, dude, back in the day. Ogre Battle, my bad. March of the Black Queen. Dude, this game was so flippin' cool, dude. I loved this game, dude. Yeah, my bad. Not tactics, but Ogre Battle. But it was a tactics esque kind of auto battler game where you would have to like create and recruit these like different armies of characters. You'd have to like arrange them, put them together. All these different armies would like have a leader, and you'd have to send them out on this map, and then this is it, like right here, right? You'd have like these little army. They'd have like 5 to 6 characters in a little army, and you'd send them out. You'd have to like liberate these cities, take on enemies, and they kind of auto battle and stuff. But you had a main character. And the beginning of the game was all like your main character. You got to like name him and everything, him or her, whatever. But your character was determined, like whether you were going to end up being like a melee character or a mage or whatever, in your stats and everything, were all determined through like a tarot card reading kind of mechanic. And it was very extensive, you know, so you'd go through all these different like tarot card reading kind of things. And then it would create your character off of your answers to these tarot cards that would pop out of this deck. It was really wild. And this is what it looked like. The battles and stuff. And you would have different like if you had these dragons, then usually your dragons meant that you were going to be like a flying. This would be a flying crew, right? And they'd be really fast over most terrain. Then you'd have like there were like witches and stuff, and they'd be really good in the mountains. They'd be really fast in the mountains and stuff. Wick, Jesus, stop it, Wick. It was a really, really cool game, dude. And if you have a chance, if it sounds like something that's fun, dude, going back and checking this out, I highly recommend, dude. March of 1993. Ultima 4. Yeah. Yeah, Ferret. Yeah. It's pretty wild. It was a really cool game, dude. This was one of my all-time favorites, dude, on Super Nintendo. It had pretty good scores too, man. Look at this. Not bad. Yeah. Not bad. Does Metacritic have this rated? Yeah, 84. Super Nintendo. Not bad, dude. Pretty good. I'll link this for you guys. This is what I was talking about. So, I don't know why it made me think of it, but Ogre Battle, yeah. March of the Black Queen. Very cool game. And what was the one you were talking about, Manzel? Let me see this real quick. Let me grab this. Oh, there it is. Got it. Wick, dude, where you been? Man, did you just wake up? Oh no, go back. Oh yeah, that's fine. Oh, it's actually on Steam too. We can just look it up on Steam. Hold on, man. No. Is this the original one? Or is this different? Is this the here, just say it. What? How do they come up with search results and then I hit enter and nothing comes up? That's so stupid. Am I spelling it wrong? It's IS, dude. It's IS. I didn't spell it wrong. Yo, Kayla, what's up? How are you? And is that the original? Oh, this might be it right here. Yeah, check this out. Is this it? I'm better. I finally slept through the night last night. I like took a nap yesterday afternoon and I was just coughing my head off again while I tried to sleep. And then
onto the PC.
I was like, dude, I'm gonna be coughing all night again. And then I slept last night. And this looks like it's probably it. Yeah, I slept last night and I slept all the way through the night without coughing.
You can achieve it.
Yeah, so finally, dude, finally. Yeah, this looks like some old school RPG stuff, dude. Let's go.
Isn't that a little overkill?
Mamzelle's so excited she's like yelling at everybody in chat right now.
Fighters casting spells?
Mamzelle's yelling at everybody. Oh my god! The hype's real, dude.
Mages using guns?
Sexy beam. Is that what it said? I didn't see it.
Dragons
sexy
casting heels?
We challenge you to a game.
That's what I every morning I wake up and I go look in the mirror
Baseball?
and I go sexy beam. And then this happens.
Etna. Yes? Kill him. Certainly.
You can tackle any stage any way you want. With power.
With power.
With strategy.
What the crap is that? Were they like
With finesse.
they turned into a totem pole?
With a bunch of cat girls.
What crap? Power Rangers, dog.
Ditch the melodrama and angst. Disgaea lightens
I
the
bet
mood
this
with
is
humor,
hilarious,
attitude,
dude.
and general ridiculousness.
The brain of Mahogany, a famous sorcerer. The iron
The brain of
body
Mahogany.
Hercules, and the
That's got to be the
horse
brain of.
Did he say a horse wiener? As the overlord of SRPGs,
Oh, dude, why am I blanking it right
Disgaea
now?
is coming to claim the realm of
Anchorman?
PCs
The
too.
brain of Anchorman. Brain of Mahogany.
Disgaea PC.
You love the story,
Coming to
yeah.
Steam, February 24th, 2016.
That looks wild, dude. There's a few of these games on premium.
Download the
Yeah,
darkness.
sick, dude.
Level up evil.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that at all. That's pretty crazy. What else were we talking about, dude? Oh, the difference between Ogre Battle and Ogre Tactics, right? So Ogre Tactics is not on here, though, right? Ogre Tactics. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. This is something that just came out, like the Reborn version, yeah? The Reborn version just came out. This is something I never played, though. Was there something else we were talking about? A different game? Ferret, did you bring one up? Oh, just Divinity? Okay, yeah.
No, this is our fight. We seek.
I mean, is Divinity actually... Divinity's not as much like
This is why we fight.
tactics-based, though, as it is
We fight
turn-based,
for
right?
is one in
Or
which
am I
the
wrong?
Rollister can live as men.
I mean, tactics is kind of a turn-based thing too, but they're a little bit different. Usually, a tactics-based game is turn-based, but there's some different mechanics in it
Peace with
too.
your gods, if any will have you.
Lives taken without reason. That's the world. we live
Okay.
Always you
To
trust
me, I feel
steal
like quite
from
often CRPGs are more
We are beaten.
No,
like a
not yet.
turn-based
Our battle is far
of just setting up your characters to
We should hurry. Ready the troops. Onward! We take back Almorica!
Move around, do certain things, but it's not like... Usually a tactics game is like squared out tiles and things like that. I don't know.
But you're a fool to advance on our front gates.
I did not take you for a thief.
I need to play. We're gonna play Divinity this year, though. So I'll get a better feel for it. I expected, because like I've played a lot of like some of the latest CRPGs I've played were like the Pillars games, Tyranny, stuff like that. And it's more like pausing the game, deciding actions for your characters to take. But it can be like a real-time kind of situation, but you can pause the game and tell them what to do. Divinity might be different than that, though. Cool. Now we've established these games and the differences. Okay, it might have more of a tactics feel to it than like what I experienced in some of the other CRPGs I've played. I know it's definitely it's considered a CRPG, but it's just probably got some different mechanics in it and stuff. Just not grid squared, yeah. Okay. So it probably, I don't know, it probably like rides that line between more of a turn-based CRPG and a tactics game, but it's definitely considered a CRPG. Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know. We'll see. We're going to play Divinity this year, the first one. We're supposed to be anyways. All right, let's keep moving. Keep moving. Thanks, guys. Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge trailer shows PSVR 2's visual upgrades. Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition is one of the many re-releases launching alongside PlayStation VR 2. Like many of those games, this title has been enhanced for this new platform, which ILMX Lab was able to show off in a new trailer. This trailer cuts together scenes from many of its storylines, giving players a look at R2-D2, C-3PO. C-3PO, best bot boy, dude. Everybody loves R2-D2. C-3PO gets no love, dude. Doc Ondar, Cecil Slack, and more. These tales take place across different times and places within the Star Wars universe. For example, one has players taking control of Padawan turned Jedi Adi Sunzi, and another Stars Class 4 assassin droid IG-88 as it tries to recover a bounty on the smuggler's moon Nar Shanda. It boasts a stacked cast of Deborah Wilson, Bobby Moynihan, Reese Darby, Anthony Daniels, Jim Cummings, Annika, Nani Rose, and more. The visual enhancements are apparent when compared to any one of its Quest trailers. A post on the PlayStation blog listed some of its general improvements, noting that the upgrade has higher fidelity visuals, eye tracking, headset-based controller tracking, 3D audio, and haptic feedback. Yeah, dude, I mean, names, right? English is hard, dude. Just leave me alone, psych. I'm gonna blame it on not having enough coffee, okay? It's still early for me, okay? What's up, dude? Let's watch this. How are you, bro?
Let me tell you a little story. Batu, the entire Outer Rim really is lawless.
That was cool.
You'll see our truth. The First Order is forever!
Stormtroopers came in, threats were made, but our friends would not back down.
Surely we can count on you now.
Wow. Watch the master work.
These relics. Their power is real.
I think the thing that trips me out about VR right now is how shaky everything is all the time. You know what I mean? Most VR games.
The council did.
If every world had a hero like you, my existence would be considerably less stressful.
A lot of times when I see VR games, it just looks like it's like the screen's just shaking around and the like your arms in the game are just like shaking. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. It's weird.
PlayStation.
All right. Cool. Well, there's a look at the Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy Edge, which is going to be hitting PSVR 2, man, which is releasing very soon. Yeah, outside, yeah. I heard the Half-Life VR is really good, dude. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I haven't really played much VR stuff, but it just seems like every time I see a video of like a VR game, I see a bunch of like jitter. You know what I mean? I see like jitter all the time. I see jitter in the hands, and I see jitter in like the camera and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty sick. Cool, man. Yeah. I've heard good things about it. Wild Heart Day 1 update patch notes revealed. This game released today, man. Wild Hearts, the new monster hunting game from EA and developer Omega Force, has revealed its Day 1 patch notes prior to its launch later this week. Today? We looked at it. It's today. Currently, Wild Hearts is available to check out in an early access phase for those with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play. While the full game won't be playable for just a couple more days, we now know what the title's first update will look like when it goes live. Coming by the way of MP first, the Day 1 update for Wild Hearts has now been revealed in full. In a general sense, this initial patch for the game, which is version 1.003, doesn't do a whole lot. Outside of some general gameplay balances and a handful of bug fixes, the Day 1 update for Wild Hearts is much smaller when compared to a number of other Day 1 updates we've seen in the past for other video games. In all likelihood, EA and Omega Force will be pushing out a bigger update for Wild Hearts once the game properly releases and gets into the hands of more players. As such, a more substantial patch may roll out at some point next week when Omega Force finds more fixes that need to be implemented in the action-focused title. Why did it say it was releasing today? Hold up. This says 17th? Hold up.
All worldly things will sink.
This game unlocks in approximately 1 hour. On Steam. But this article says on the 17th. I don't know, dude. Looks like the Day 1 update for Wild Hearts, the things that are going to be coming that they've kind of picked out of the patch notes so far. Looking Glass Dragon Karakuri Edition. Conjuring this new Karakuri allows players to go back and change the appearance of their in-game character. Gameplay balance adjustments altered the difficulty level of a volatile kimono. Adjusted various other gameplay parameters. Updated a number of skill names. Added amended key guides. Fixed various other bugs, crashes related to multiplayer, and a UI bug fix when playing in 4K and HDR. Alright. Well, it's supposed to release in like an hour, so we'll see what people have to say about it, okay? Try to maybe take a look later on today. Maybe. Yeah, it could be Psych, yeah. I didn't see that other what you put in chat, dude. Yeah. Why would you want to fix that, dude? Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. All right. CD Projekt Red explains how The Witcher 3 Not Safe for Work mod snuck into its remaster. We saw a couple of days ago where basically it had been found that like there was a whole bunch of very, very detailed vagine in the game. There's a bunch of vagine in the game that was really detailed. And apparently it was because there was this like not safe for work mod that made its way into the final edition of the remaster of The Witcher 3. Funny enough, you can't find the number 69 anywhere in this game, even though this is a very mature title. But God forbid you see the number 69 anywhere, but you're going to see some lifelike vagine running around everywhere in this game, you know. CD Projekt Red has revealed to IGN how certain not safe for work textures made their way into The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt's next-gen update and why it's going to remove them. The prolific Witcher 3 PC modding community is responsible for creating a dizzying array of modifications to the legendary RPG, ranging from graphical and texture enhancements to countless quality of life and inventory management improvements. At some stage, a modder also decided to create an anatomically correct genitals for female characters, and those modifications somehow made it into the next-gen update for The Witcher 3 alongside the range of other mods that were officially adopted by the studio. As was understood by CD Projekt Red until very recently, the vulva textures in question were a part of the HD Monsters Reworked mod, not the Vaginas for Everyone mod, said a studio spokesperson in a statement to IGN. Psych, bro. Yeah, dude. In 2021, at the time of signing the copyright transfer agreement, the HDMR mod author confirmed to CDPR that they were the sole author of the mod in question. The HDMR mod author granted CD Projekt Red rights to use the mod and was credited and compensated for their work. CDPR also reiterated this was that it was committed to removing the textures from the game in a future update. We want to also add that the removal of these elements is not intended as a statement against nudity or mature themes, but rather an attempt to maintain visual coherence across all character models. Including these textures in the game was not something we planned from the start. Studio has reached out to the original creator of the HDMR mod with questions for clarification. They gave The Witcher 3 a 9.3 out of 10. Are you flipping kidding me? With all the bugs and crap this game has, how could anybody give this game over? Dude, there's a lot of great stuff about this game. Don't get me wrong. But Jesus. I don't understand how that works. How do people just deal like how do people play a game with the absolutely like just glaring issues like that? I mean, you can go back and watch my playthrough. We played through every single bit. We did every single quest in Witcher 3 that we came across. We did both the expansions. And it was a trudge, dude. Working your way through the environment most of the time was maulding. And I don't know how you like give a game like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot. The writing in the game's fantastic. There's some great content. But, and I mean, I'm talking about, this is like, what? When did this game come out? 2017? Somewhere around there, right? Bro, Roach is a mess, dude. That horse is such trash.
Hey, shut your pie hole, buddy.
Not to mention, like, they didn't do any kind of transmog in the game, so you can't really do much with the way your character. They missed a lot of stuff in that game. They hit on some really good stuff too, but they missed a lot of stuff in that game too, man. Dude, that Roach is the worst flipping mount ever. And that game was so bad on release from what I understand. I didn't play it on a release, but from what I understand, that game was bad. Release date, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, 2014, dog. 2014. And it's still that bad today. It's still that bad today. I don't know how anybody rates this game that high. Like, I can't, dude. There's no flipping way. I would give it, like, the highest, like, an 8, dude. Highest. with all the issues it has. I don't understand how anybody gives a game a rating that high with so many glaring bugs and issues and stuff, dude. We still had like crashes and just stupid, bad bugs, dude. It was horrible. It was a I mean, there was a lot of good content, but with the technical issues and stuff, dude, there's just no way. I just don't get it. Make it sound like a 4? Well, I mean, look, dude, an 8's a really respectable score. You know what I mean? People act like a 7 is a terrible score. You know what I mean? 5 is I would say like 5 is a game that I probably wouldn't go play a game. 6 is a game I would probably go, meh. 7's like, that's going to be entertaining enough. 7's going to be, that's entertaining enough. It's not going to be mind-blowing. It's entertaining. 8's going to be, that's probably going to be a pretty good experience. 9's going to be like, dude, that's going to blow you out of the water. 9 or above is going to be like, holy crap, dude. They did almost nothing wrong in that game. You know what I mean? Yeah, 1 through 5 for me is going to be like, I mean, yeah, 5 is like maybe worth a look depending on if it's like, I would say like below a 5 is going to be maybe not worth your time. But like in the 5s is going to be, you know, I think really 4 and like especially, I don't even know if 4s, but 5s is going to be like, is this something that is appealing to you on a personal level? Like, does the universe that this is within present something to you that you're really, really interested in? You know, if so, you might have a good time playing it. If not, probably not worth your time. You know what I mean? If something's rated that at that point, then I think that's really where you're going to start finding personal kind of relations to what the universe holds, where you might be willing to dive into it or not. But below a 5, dude, is like probably not worth your time, really, honestly. But a lot of people act like something like a you know, high 6s into the 7s is like a bad rating. That's not a bad rating. That just means that you're not necessarily going to be blown away by a game, you know? Usually those are going to be entertaining enough experiences. Multiverse's peak player count plummets to below 1,000 players amid content drought. After a strong debut, Multiverse's player base has dropped quite a bit. Dude, I gotta see this.
Hope you're happy with the adventure so far, Morty. Will you just show me how to stay alive?
But you're not that far off there, Syke. I think that, yeah, most of the time 1 through 5 to most people means relatively not worth.
Jeez, I really need to chill. How do you like that? I'm Mr. Meesey. Let me try something. Yes!
It doesn't mean nobody's gonna play him or anything, but to most people, I think that a rating of 1 to 5, like 5 or below is not usually worth people diving into.
Cool. I defeat Gagu's more powerful than these guys every week. Oh man, okay, alright. Solve that one.
On a skeleton.
Alright, that's it. I'm out of here. Infinite timelines, infinite possibilities.
Good job.
This is pretty crazy, man. This is like another random mode time. Aw, dude, nice. Bisexual pride, dude. There you go, Ferret. Ferret's coming in with that pink mercy, dude. Speaking of pink, where's Pinky at, dog? Pinky's been, I guess, just working his butt off. Multiverse had a strong debut in the summer of 2022. Again, this kind of came out right around the time of Evo, and it took place at Smash. And did pretty good. Syke, go again, dude. I don't like it. Go again. You know, bro. You got this. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Come on. Get it, baby. Come on, baby. You got this. Nice, dude. All right. All right. All right, dude. That's funny, bro. Pinky's back finally gave out. Yeah, we're gonna have to get him some. We're gonna have to get him a back replacement to keep carrying me through games. I know what you're saying there, dude. Nice, Kayla. All right. With the content drops and seasonal updates sporadic, it became apparent the interest in multiverses has subsided considerably. Per a report from Video Game Chronicle, player activity in the PC release of Multiverses has dropped close to 99% from its strong debut. This current activity is a far cry from the game's impressive start in July of 2022, which saw player activity peaking at 153,000 online users during its launch week. These numbers came from the Steam database SteamDB online database, which tracks Steam Games' activity and how many active users are engaged. Currently, Multiverses on PC is charting at less than 1,000 players as of this time, and there hasn't been much news about the game since last early January. At launch, it quickly became a popular game due to its Smash Bros. Style take on various Warner Brothers and WB-adjacent IPs, mainly focusing on DC superheroes and villains, Cartoon Network characters, the various Looney Tunes, and even Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. The roster for Multiverses is certainly eclectic, and therein lies its charm. Getting to see Batman and Steven Universe brawl will always be amusing, and Multiverses backs that up with rock-solid fighting mechanics, too. However, what could be the cause for Multiverses' dip in players is its sporadic content drops, which is a common problem that many live service games slip into, especially heavy hitters like Destiny 2 and Apex Legends. Ferret, comment? Have anything to say, Ferret? Ferret's our Destiny 2 player here, so... As Travis Northrop wrote in a recent IGN feature, it's become harder and harder to stand out in the ever-expanding live service space. There's no doubt about that. Nearly ever... So what I read here, dude, was what could be the cause for Multiverses' dip in players is its sporadic content drops, which is a common problem that many live service games slip into, especially heavy hitters like Destiny 2 and Apex Legends. I was wondering what you had to say about that. Nearly every developer out there wants to be the next Fortnite, and that has caused a tidal wave of games as a service games. That's what GAAS games. That's what GAAS stands for, if you didn't know. Games as a service. Games to flood the market, he wrote. Even if you make a great game, you're competing for the finite gaming hours of players who partake in live service games. That's a zero-sum game. That's some hot gas, bro. Yeah. Multiverses is still on track for more content updates as it continues into its second season, which added Marvin the Martian. Most recent content update came in January, adding a special Lunar New Year event, a Scooby's Mansion stage, and general quality of life updates. Season 3 was previously set to roll out in February. However, the new set of content was delayed till March 31st. Though no official news has been said about what will be added in detail, we can expect to see new characters and stages added to the game. In IGN's review of Multiverses, John Carson gave the game an 8 out of 10, calling it a gracious and fun competitive platform fighter that rewards players for learning the strengths and weaknesses of its eclectic cast of characters and working as part of a team. Look, I mean, this is what I said when I brought this up initially, that this article, when I found it this morning, was... one of the big issues here, is always with a live service game is content. Being able to maintain a player base is tough. It's very hard. We've seen a lot of games die this year already. A lot of games that haven't even been out for roughly a little over a year, around a year, a little over a year. We've seen lots of games dying off. And it's just not worth it for the developers to keep the games alive if they can't keep a player base in, And it feels bad for the people that love those games, but... you can't fault the developers for not investing in the game moving forward if it's not generating revenue and player base. It's just business, man. Yo, Jelly, what's up, my friend? So, this game became very popular very fast, especially, it was like the perfect storm for this game initially. With Smash not being allowed to be played at EVO this year by Nintendo because Nintendo's, got their head up their butt quite often, and they thought it was going to be a slap in the face to PlayStation when really it was just a slap in the face to the player base. Multiverses came in and took the place of Smash at EVO, and players loved it. It did very well, but maintaining a player base is a very difficult thing to do in the live service space. It absolutely is. We see it all the time, and this game's struggling right now, even though it's supposed to be a very fun game to play. Nintendo needs to be cleansed, dude. Very, very well. Yeah. Who's down? Who's ready to cleanse Nintendo? Yo, Jelly, I'm good, man. I'm much better than I had been over the past few days, for sure. I finally slept through the night last night, which was amazing. And I'm feeling much better, my friend. How you doing? Game Freak wants to explore non-Pokemon games. Their latest Pokemon games were not great, yeah. Game Freak has long been known as the Pokemon Studio. Since '96, it has produced an array of beloved Pokemon games, including several spin-offs, and it's largely made a name for itself working alongside Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. Despite this and the need to constantly pump out new adventures, Game Freak loves to experiment and take every opportunity to do so. Studio is certainly not a one-trick pony, and in recent years has released a number of wild, colorful, and creative games to prove it, including Timbo the Badass Elephant, Little Town Hero, and more recently, Pocket Card Jockey Ride On, an Apple Arcade exclusive game and sequel to the original Pocket Card Jockey for Nintendo 3DS. This title expands on the gameplay of Pocket Card Jockey in many ways, maintaining this game's hybrid solitaire and horse racing mechanics with newly 3D graphics and more interesting ways to win. According to Game Freak, speaking to Axios, this creation was part of a concerted push for more creativity. We believe that it is very important for the studio to continue to make and release titles outside of the Pokemon series. Masoa Teya Ride On, game director, said, in recent years, the resources needed for game development have grown and grown, so Development Department 1 has been trying out a style of development where it works with external studios. As Axios notes, Ride On was developed with studios Infinite Loop Co. and Pixida, who provided essential resources in the experimentation process. Given Game Freak is now required to produce Pokemon games on a near annual basis, which I'm not a big fan of, reliance on other studios has become necessary to continue producing new creative titles like Ride On. For now, the studio is focused on the success of this mobile game, with plans for new updates and tweaks now announced. Teya has expressed a great fondness for the Pocket Card Jockey series, and it appears Game Freak is ready to support the game well in the coming months. Teya's enthusiasm and Game Freak's continued push to produce new and more creative games means Ride On isn't expected to be the last non-Pokemon game we see from the studio. Hopefully we'll see more titles like it, even as work on the Pokemon franchise grows more intensive and resource dependent. We look forward to seeing what's next from the veteran studio. I've said this before. I know Pokemon's always been one of those titles that has been very Assassin's Creed, if you will. They just pump those things out. And Nintendo does it because they sell like hotcakes, you know. It's very lucrative. But I could see Pokemon being a better play as something like being developed moving forward on more of a platform like Genshin Impact. You know what I mean? Obviously, Nintendo's not going to do it in a way where it's going to be multi-platform or anything like that. But in a live service space for Nintendo, Pokemon making it to where it's a live service game and just new content gets added in to the game. You know what I mean? I could see Pokemon games being done very well like that. Nintendo will never do it. Never, ever. Because too many people love Pokemon and too many people buy every single Pokemon game that comes out on an annual basis, right? Which is why I don't dive into them anymore. I used to love Pokemon games back when I was younger, you know, and but it's, again, the Pokemon stuff's gotten to the same point that, like, some of these other, it's just so polluted, dude. It's like, how do you step into that that world and that universe and really enjoy it when it's like, you know that there's just another one already coming. There's just another one coming. There's just another one coming. There's just more. There's just another one coming. And it's like, I don't know how you get hype about it anymore. I don't see it, man. It's like the Assassin's Creed stuff, man. It's just so polluted and it just never stops. And it doesn't give you time to breathe and I think enjoy the title that you have at the time because you're just trying to like. And if you haven't been in the in that world for a while, oh dude, I agree. That's what I was talking about with some of the latest Pokemon games. Was like, I was laughing. You know, the latest Pokemon game that came out. You know that they like look like motorcycles and stuff. They look like kid rides. They look like they've got like a saddle with like handlebars on them. They look like one of those like rides that you put your kids on when they're little. You like put a quarter in and they like ride around on it. That's what they look like, dude. They're like running out of names. They're running out of ideas for the Pokemon and stuff. And it's I don't know. If you haven't been in the Pokemon world for a while too, gaming wise, how do you even determine where to jump in at? You know what I mean? That's another one of the issues that I think is plaguing developers when they just pump out these titles, these iterations of these series just on the constant without taking your time to really develop good content and let people get hyped about titles and take their time with it and stuff. You know, I see issues with it, man, and they really lost me on the Pokemon stuff a while back. So that's my take, anyways. But good for Game Freak. Look, this is another thing I talk about a lot, though, is there are a lot of developers that have gotten stuck in a rut of only being able to create certain content and they can't get out of it anymore. You see it a lot. Developers forget how to make unique content, and that's a bad situation to get in as a developer. So seeing Game Freak be adamant about trying to step outside and continue to create things other than Pokemon is a good thing. In my book, anyways. Returnal is Sony's most impressive PC port yet. I'll believe it when I see it. I've never seen anything PC port-wise yet that is better than 2018's God of War. But I haven't played the new Spider-Man ports. I haven't played Returnal yet. But I was absolutely blown away by 2018's God of War when it was ported to PC. Santa Monica Studios porting that thing to PC was phenomenal. And I'm not normally blown away by a PC port. And I absolutely was. Returnal is packed with new features and customization tools on PC, including ultra-wide support and an in-game benchmarking test. There are few games I look forward to these days as much as Sony's PC ports. Look, I really want to play this game, though. Returnal is supposed to be very, very good. It seems strange considering they're all old PlayStation games I've already played, but Sony puts so much effort into these ports that they're practically new games. All the PlayStation Studios games on PC are industry-leading in features and customization, exceptionally well optimized and able to leverage the full power of your beastly gaming rig, and Returnal is no exception. In fact, Returnal represents a step up from even Sony's most impressive PC ports, like Marvel's Spider-Man and the Uncharted Legacy Thieves collection, thanks to its suite of customization options and benchmarking tools, the likes of which I've never encountered in any PC release, PlayStation port or otherwise. Returnal establishes an incredible standard of quality for PS5 to PC ports. And if Sony can keep this up, it's going to end up dominating the PC market in a way no one ever could have expected. Deathloop launched simultaneously on PS5 and PC, but Returnal is the first PS5 exclusive to make its way to Steam and EGS. As you might expect, the specs are pretty demanding. If you're looking to push Returnal to its absolute limit with 4K at 60 frames and ray tracing, you'll need at least 32 gigs of RAM and a 3080 Ti. And the latest 12-core processor. That's about as monstrous as gaming PCs get today. Luckily, you don't need the highest of high-end machines to get Returnal running at a smooth 60 frames. If your PC is less than 5 years old, you shouldn't have a problem getting a nice stable frame rate. I'm running a 3070. The author of this is stating they're running a 3070 with 16 gigs of RAM on a modest 3600X, playing in 32:9 super ultra wide on a 40-inch Samsung Odyssey G9. at 5120 by 1440 resolution, significantly more than 1080p. Still, with a little tweaking, I'm able to play on medium settings at a fairly smooth 70 frames. Pretty good. That's a smoking monitor, dude. That really is, yeah. That's a pretty beastie monitor, dude. Yeah. Adjusting my settings was easy thanks to Returnal's robust customization options. Yeah. So that's a good rig right there. That's a good rig. I mean, I'm running double that RAM. I've got a 5900X. They've got just a little bit better of a GPU than... No, I've got the same GPU. My bad. I've got the same GPU. So running this on my monitor would... I could probably run this at like 120 frames easy on high settings. When you first launch the game, it's able to do some quick math and recommended graphic settings that should work for you. I started on the default medium setting as it recommended. Found it to be totally playable, but I was distracted by the occasional frame dip, so I started tweaking. Incredibly, Returnal has a built-in benchmarking tool, runs a game simulation that throws enemies, particle effects, volumetric fog, fast-moving objects at the screen, then spits out an analysis to show to show you exactly how your PC performs under each specific condition. That tool revealed that heavy fog was liable to make me drop frames, so I tweaked the quality of fog in the video settings and immediately made my frame rate more stable. Probably even saved my life in the Frike boss fight, considering how foggy that arena is. Such a valuable tool for a game like Returnal. While it's tempting to bump all the reflections and flashy effects so you can savor the game's atmosphere, a few frames can be the difference between life and death in this fast-paced bullet hell. Yeah. Look, people quite often go, it's just a little bit of, occasional, like the game we're playing right now, right? We're playing Hogwarts Legacy. It's an action RPG. And I think a lot of people tend to overlook, they're like, well, it's just a little bit of occasional frame drop and stuttering. When that frame drop and stuttering hits, it's not a little bit, it's a lot. And it's brutal. And if you're in the middle of a fight, that frame drop and that stutter results in input loss. And it makes it very, very, very difficult to fight in the game. So outside of just making the game look like trash, it actually affects your gameplay significantly when it happens. I'm actually not aware right now. I'm not sure. It's something I need to look at. We'll see if we can pull it up, Ferret. We'll see if we can pull it up. See if we can pull it up, buddy. We'll see if we can figure that out. Because I've been interested in that too. While it's tempting to bump up all the reflections and flashy effects so you can savor the game's atmosphere, a few frames can be the difference between life and death in this fast-paced bullet hell. You'll want to get your FPS as high as possible without sacrificing the visuals too much. It's a tricky thing to do, but Returnal is packed with tools to help you dial it in. On top of familiar upscaling tools like DLSS and AMD FSR, which have been featured in previous PlayStation Studios ports to great effect, Returnal also features dynamic resolution scaling, NVIDIA image scaling, and VRS, which dynamically renders different areas on screen at different qualities depending on their importance. If you think DLSS is witchcraft, and it is, wait till you see what NIS and VRS can do. With some experimenting, I was able to squeeze an extra 20 frames out with VRS with minimal compromise to the image. You'll have to play with it with the screen optimization options to find what works best, but they can make a huge difference to your performance. Every time I've played a PlayStation PC port, I've made the claim that the inclusion of ultra-wide aspect ratios improves the gameplay. Horizon Zero Dawn and Uncharted's stunning vistas, as well as Spider-Man's crowded skyline, are all enhanced by wider displays. It feels like these games were meant to be played in 21:9 or 32:9 aspect ratios because of the way the ultra-wide brings out their best features. I can't say the same for Returnal, though. While those games are all about the freedom of movement, exploration, and visually stunning landscapes, Returnal is in many ways the exact opposite. Its environments are claustrophobic and oppressive, and though it features eye-popping backgrounds and skyboxes, you're never afforded the opportunity to stop and enjoy them. Ultra-wide doesn't support Returnal in the same way Sony's other games do, and it may even be a detriment at times. The curvature of the screen creates an unavoidable distortion that elongates objects on the edges, which can be bad news when the screen is filled with colorful balls of death. Balls of death! I don't think Ultra-wide elevates Returnal the way it does Sony's other games, but it certainly doesn't make it worse. When you hit that flow state and you're moving from room to room, maxed out on adrenaline and exterminating everything in sight, the edges of the screen fade into the periphery. In those moments, you do get an immersive benefit from the ultra-wide, and while the cutscenes don't always support ultra-wide, a common problem with all of Sony's PC ports, it otherwise does feel fully integrated. Not only can you scale the UI to your preferred position and adjust the screen safe zones, but you can also customize what is shown on the sides during 16:9 cutscenes. And what you see at the edges when you open your map is a little detail, but it shows how much thought was put into the port in order to transform it from a PS5 to a PC game. Surprisingly, mouse and keyboard controls fundamentally change the experience of the game. Failure and repetition is baked into Returnal's narrative and gameplay loop, obviously. But I've been, if you didn't know, this is like a roguelike game also. I've been trivializing the combat encounters thanks to precision of mouse and keyboard controls. Even though I've played the game before, I didn't expect I'd be able to get through the first 3 zones without a single death. I have to dance around to the point to avoid spoilers. But simply put, you have to die in Returnal to understand the point of Returnal. If you're an ace that can breeze through the first playthrough on mouse and keyboard, I recommend sticking with controller. It has great DualSense support, so you'll even get all of the PS5's cool haptics. Returnal is one of my favorite games ever. I've been eagerly awaiting the PC port to see how ray tracing and an obscenely high frame rate can unlock its true potential. This is a highly polished and thoughtfully designed port that exceeds my already high expectations, but contradictingly might actually be a worse experience, depending on how you play it. Returnal isn't a popcorn spectacle, that way so many other Sony games are. You don't need all the bells and whistles to truly appreciate it either. It doesn't get the credit it deserves as the star of the PS5, and the PC port just makes it more apparent how perfectly designed and executed it is on the newest PlayStation hardware. It's nice to have more, but in this case, more doesn't always mean better. Great written article. I really liked this article. Who's the author? Eric Switzler? Thank you, my friend. That's a great article right there. I really enjoyed reading that. And it makes me want to play the game even more. I'll link it in case you guys are interested. Legendary PS1 RPG finally returning on PlayStation Plus. A legendary RPG from the original PlayStation console is finally making its return on PS4 and PS5 via PlayStation Plus later this month. In recent years, we've started to see a number of remasters of classic PS1 games coming to new platforms, like Chrono Cross, Tactics Ogre, and numerous others have finally been getting ported to new hardware, much to the pleasure of retro gaming enthusiasts. While one beloved RPG has been quite elusive when it comes to returning on modern platforms, this won't be holding true for much longer. As part of this month's new slate of additions on PlayStation Plus Premium, Legend of Dragoon will soon be added to the service's catalog of classics on February 21st. Originally released in Japan in 1999, The Legend of Dragoon is a cult classic RPG from the PS1 that was developed by and published by Sony. Yeah, Ferret, got you, buddy. While Legend of Dragoon never reached the same notoriety at the time as other PS1 role-playing games like Final Fantasy VII and Suikoden 2, it has continued to have a passionate fan base over 20 years later that has hoped to see one day its return. Now those wishes are finally coming true. As mentioned, The Legend of Dragoon will be available through PlayStation Plus as part of its offering of classics. This means that in order to play it, you'll have to be subscribed to the PlayStation Plus Premium tier of the service. Legend of Dragoon may also be purchasable on its own as an individual title for PS4 and PS5, but if this is true, a listing for the game has yet to go live on the PlayStation Store. We've known this was coming for a while, but it's good to see that it's getting very close, okay? PlayStation Plus adding 17 new games for PS5 and PS4 in February. We've already hit a lot of this. Look, if you weren't aware, Sony's lineup of free titles for PS Plus in February is already live, and it includes Mafia Definitive Edition, Evil Dead the Game, Ollie Ollie World, and Destiny 2 Beyond Light. Evil Dead the Game also just released like a Battle Royale mode for the game, if you're interested. 17 more games are being added to its expansive catalog next week on the 21st. 13 of these games are native to the PS4 and PS5, while other 4 are classics that stem from legacy PlayStation platforms. Most notable, which we hit on yesterday as well, but if you're not aware, most notable of the new additions coming next week include Horizon Forbidden West, The Quarry, Resident Evil 7, and Borderlands 3. All right. The other games being added are Outriders, Scarlet Nexus, Tekken 7, RE7 Biohazard, Ace Combat 7, Earth Defense Force 5, Ononaki, Lost Sphere, I Am Setsuna, The Forgotten City. Those are all PS4, PS5 games. For PlayStation Plus Classics, which are on the PS Plus Premium only service, Legend of Dragoon, Wild Arms 2, Harvest Moon, Back to Nature, nice, and Destroy All Humans, sick. So there you go. If you need this, I'll link it for you guys. Here you go. Ubisoft's X Defiant is still in the works. Kicks off first playtest of 2023 this week. Cross-play test for Ubisoft's answer to Call of Duty will include 4 game modes and 13 maps. X Defiant, the class-based, free-to-play first-person shooter that looks to be Ubisoft's answer to Call of Duty, is kicking off its first insider playtest of 2023 this week, serving as a reminder that X Defiant is still in the works even as Ubisoft has canceled numerous projects in recent months. Playtest is for insiders who've signed up via the X Defiant website and will be cross-play between Xbox Series X, S, PlayStation 5, and PC, with the goal of the test being to put cross-play, shush your mouth, cross-play through its paces and gather feedback on the console experience. For a playtest, we'll watch this in a moment. For a playtest, bro, why is it jumping around? For a playtest, there certainly seems to be plenty of content for players to try out. The test will feature 13 maps and 4 game modes. The test begins on February 16th, that's today, and runs through February 19th. As with previous X Defiant tests, this one will still be under a non-disclosure agreement, meaning players will not be allowed to live stream or record footage of the game in action. Ever since its reveal in the summer of 2021, X Defiant has drawn numerous comparisons to Call of Duty, with the game's executive producer Mark Rubin having previously worked on Activision's juggernaut FPS franchise. It puts an emphasis on fast-paced combat and tight gunplay, but unlike Call of Duty, features various classes to choose from, inspired by factions across Ubisoft's Tom Clancy game universe. Despite featuring factions from various Tom Clancy games, X Defiant no longer sports the Tom Clancy branding. Ubisoft has been relatively quiet about X Defiant since the game's original announcement. The game wasn't included as part of the publisher's Ubisoft Forward 2022 event, and the previous X Defiant playtest was back in October of 2022, after which little has been heard about it. Ubisoft announced it had canceled 3 unnamed projects back in January, and had previously canceled 4 other games, including the free-to-play Battle Royale, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, Frontline, and a Splinter Cell VR game since July 2022. String of cancellations left some fans concerned about the future of X Defiant, but judging from the latest playtest, it seems the game is still moving forward. X Defiant does not currently have a release date. Let's watch this.
We're excited to share a first look at a project we're developing at Ubisoft San Francisco. This is our take on a multiplayer first-person shooter.
We need to get you in early and find out what you think.
Our goal is to make a best-in-class shooter for you, the players, to compete
and have fun with your friends. It's fast-paced firefights meets punk rock mosh pit.
We're proud to introduce our new game,
Tom Clancy's X Defiant. Your feedback is essential to help us make this game great.
Later in this video,
meets
we'll
punk
tell you
rock
how to get
mosh
involved.
pit?
But first, we'll get into the action.
This is a free-to-play, high-octane shooter combining realistic gunplay with personalized classes.
Those classes are represented in our game as factions, each bringing unique gameplay
Super
and team
edgy.
dynamics. Every faction comes equipped with traits, abilities, and an ultra to
Why don't
complement your
am I getting
playstyle
like
and the
Division
faction's
vibes
role.
from this?
Used
You know what I
skillfully,
mean?
Each faction is capable of swinging the momentum of a match. Our factions are at the heart of the game. They're inspired by maverick groups from across Tom Clancy's games and
Probably just
beyond.
the Division's Tom Clancy game too.
We created
It looks a
new
lot like
characters
Division stuff.
and gameplay unique to our shooter. and will continue to add to this diverse cast as the game evolves.
And it's
Now, while
Ubisoft.
factions help you define your role, we know to be a great shooter, the gunplay has to be our top priority. We have an ever-growing arsenal of authentic weapons and attachments. We put a lot of care into how our weapons look and feel. We've crafted every weapon attachment for precise, satisfying gunplay.
Players can mix and match any faction and weapon loadout. You can swap at respawn to adapt to a changing battlefield. Personalize your faction and loadout to be what you need when you need it.
And I can't stress this hard enough. We are a shooter first.
And your abilities and ultras create unique opportunities to set up nail-biting shootouts and unforgettable clutch plays. Personalizing classes, guns, and gear in a fast-paced fight is a whole new experience in Tom Clancy gaming. We are super stoked by what we've accomplished so far.
And I couldn't be more proud of our incredible team. We want to personally thank everyone that's worked so hard during the pandemic to keep the momentum going on this game.
We understand that it's been even harder for some of you. We hope that we can build a community that's a place where people can connect and have fun.
And we're committed to creating a welcoming game based on fair play and transparency, whether you're playing casually or pushing yourself competitively.
Now, the game's still in early development, but we're gearing up to let you in as soon as possible. So register right now to participate in our early rollout phases.
Thank you so much for watching. We really want your input, so please reach out to us on social media.
Don't you love how like every single shooter in the game, every single FPS game has like the slide in it now? The slide is like standard, dude. The slide is standard in like in FPS games. It's just a standard. It's so funny. Okay, well, I don't know, man. If you guys, who knows, man? Maybe they're onto something here. I need a new FPS to play, man. Maybe we'll try it out this weekend or something. I don't know. Check it, yo. Check it. Deep Rock Galactic developer Ghost Ship Games expands into publishing. Ghost Ship will reveal its first publishing projects in March. The developer behind Deep Rock Galactic has announced it will be launching a publishing arm to help lift up smaller developers. Titled Ghost Ship Publishing, the new arm of Ghost Ship will serve as a launch pad for independent video games in the rapidly growing Danish games industry and beyond. Ghost Ship Publishing will announce some of its upcoming titles on March 2nd as part of Deep Rock Galactic's 5th anniversary livestream. Ghost Ship explains that the careful approach to open development and a flexible design philosophy from the game will be foundational for future games published by the studio. Becoming a publisher is a way for us to give a bit back to the industry and to help lift up both the Danish gaming scene and other small developers like ourselves across the globe, commented Soren Lundgaard, CEO of Ghost Ship Games. Our goal is to assist fellow developers with funding and marketing expertise while also helping them establish a solid business. Founding a publishing brand is a passion project for us, and we are very excited to make this a reality. Mikkel Martin Peterson, the studio's CCO, added that starting a publishing company is a natural next step for Ghost Ship, and explained that the success of Deep Rock Galactic had enabled the expansion. Played through the game's 3rd season back in October, and enjoyed the pure carnage of the game's plague-themed update. Earlier in the month, Ghost Ship Games announced that it would be celebrating Deep Rock Galactic's 5th birthday with an in-game event running from March 2nd to March 16th. Additionally, players will be given an option to play the original version of Deep Rock Galactic that launched in 2018. Cool. Good for them, man. IGN Fan Fest, dude. Let's look at the schedule real quick. So we've got a live stream starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. That's noon for us. So maybe we'll kick over there at noon tomorrow and see what's popping. I mean, both the next 2 days. And you can see everything that they're talking about right here in the schedule, right? So AEW Fight Forever, Ant-Man and Wasp, Creed 3. But I mean, some of this is like shows, right? Some of it is show, some of it's gaming. I don't know. Yeah, so noon tomorrow. They're talking about John Wick Chapter 4, Street Fighter 6, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Netflix Shadow and Bone, Ant-Man and Wasp, HBO's Live. Oh, we can watch this, dude, if you guys want. Why not? We'll just game until noon, and then we'll watch a little bit of this the next 2 days. Because it's happening the next 2 days. So we'll just keep this up, dude. We'll watch IGN FanFest. We're just planning on doing that. They got Cocaine Bear, too, dude. D4. There's all kinds of stuff happening, dude. So, yeah. Well, the next 2 days, we'll just plan on doing the news. We will game until noon, and then we'll just see what's popping off with IGN FanFest in their live stream stuff. Cool? We'll just watch some of that together for the afternoon part of the stream. Hang out, have some chill times watching some of that stuff. Cool. Steam forums are a mess. Steam. PC performance is a disaster. Steam version's very bad. Hogwarts Legacy on Twitter. Oh, this was just for their stuff, not letting people play early. Let's see. First big Hogwarts Legacy patch notes aren't quite the magical. Let's see what this is. It's hard to tell. First big Hogwarts, because there was a patch like a day ago. Aren't quite the magical fix. Whatever. Let's just read this and we'll stick with that. Yeah. First Hogwarts Legacy patch is here, but many players of the Hogwarts or the Harry Potter RPG game are reporting that it actually doesn't fix much. Send some feedback. If you've been playing Hogwarts Legacy on PC and seeing a plethora of issues with the Harry Potter RPG game, first major Hogwarts Legacy patch is here following launch. Filled with bug fixes, improvements, and fixes for crashing and stuttering issues, but it hasn't quite done the job. While you enhance your game with the best Hogwarts Legacy mods, this Hogwarts Legacy patch should alleviate your issues with the new open world game. There's some reports that the fixes aren't universal though, so be sure to check in and report any issues. Yeah, widespread reports of stuttering issues since launch. Yeah, handful of players on the subreddit are saying that a Hogwarts Legacy patch isn't actually fixing any of that for them. I'm also one of those people. Unclear if the sporadic nature of the issues come from different PC hardware or if it's more to do with the game itself. I don't know. I think it's across all PC versions of the game. Actually, I don't think it's just on Steam. I think anybody on PC is having issues with this game. That's what I got for the news today, anyways. Though we'll talk about more of it as I play today. I'm sure of it because it's something that. Just a second. Sorry. So yeah, I don't know. We usually end up talking about these issues as we play because I'm playing on PC, I'm playing on Steam, and it's hard to not talk about the issues when we experience them consistently every day throughout the gameplay. right? So we'll discuss it as we play through today, yeah? You guys rock, man. It's always a great day hanging out with you and enjoying video games and just discussing the industry, man, and staying current on what's going on. And I appreciate you guys very much. If anybody that is not part of this community and is being exposed to some of our content, whether it be highlights on the Twitch channel or VODs on the YouTube channel of either the news segment or some episodes of our gaming content or clips of some funny stuff that happened here in the channel whenever we're doing live stuff, then see what you can do about coming and hanging out with myself, the rest of this amazing community, whenever we go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day. Start all of our streams off with video gaming news before we jump into whatever gaming content we have slated for the rest of the day, okay? Other than that, you guys just have a fantastic Thursday, and stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. And we'll catch everybody tomorrow for February 17th edition of Video Gaming News and more Hogwarts Legacy.